Oh my goodness. Can you believe it's Friday already?
I don't know how to answer. Yes, no.
No. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Friday Night Cookies. And it's fall. And what does fall mean to you?
Leaves?
Yes,
Flannel?
leaves, flannel, cardigans,
Cats drinking our milk?
cat drinking the milk. Yes. But also pumpkin spice. Like, what is pumpkin
It's
spice?
pumpkins and spices, right? Isn't that's kind of
No,
self-explanatory?
pumpkin spice actually has nothing really to do with pumpkins. There's no pumpkin in pumpkin spice, right?
Wrong?
No, okay, so basically
Explain.
pumpkins have no flavor. Like pumpkins are bland, they're the early 1900s. And the first time that pumpkin spice is actually referred to is it was a cookbook from 1936 in a recipe for pumpkin spice cake. Yes.
Then why does it say pumpkin? Ingredient, pumpkin.
Uh,
100% pure pumpkin.
actually, in cans, Geronimo, in cans of pumpkin. It's not actually pumpkin. Okay, so even though this says this is Libby's, here I'll zoom in.
The famous one.
Yeah, this is the famous one. This is Libby's. It's the most commonly purchased can of pumpkin that you get during this time of year to make pumpkin pies or pumpkin flavored whatever. But it's not actually pumpkin. See, the FDA, their classification of what a pumpkin really is very broad. It could be a gourd, it could be a squash, anything in between. A lot of companies will do like kind of like a Frankenstein mixture puree of a bunch of different like types of gourds and squash, like things that are a little bit more flavorful. Specifically, Libby's is a gourd or squash rather. It's a squash that they designed and like they basically bred a whole new like squash species just for their pumpkin puree. It's called the Dickinson, and it's closer to a butternut squash than it is to a pumpkin. Did you know that?
So fall is a time of lies.
Yes, and there's a lot more lies because so pumpkin spice gets introduced officially in 19. So it was nutmeg, cinnamon, allspice, a little bit of like baking soda.
So I guess that's why they advertise all these cookies as pumpkin spice, not pumpkin flavored.
Everything is like fast paced, packaged. You know, bakers are getting lazy. Nobody wants to do the measurements of all the spices that go into what's considered pumpkin spice. Pumpkin pie spice. And people are putting it in their pies, they're putting it in pancakes. It's like a baking ingredient. And it becomes a signature flavor of fall. It's not until 1990s when a coffee roastery in Florida starts roasting coffee beans with pumpkin
So it's
spices.
not Starbucks then. That's
No, it actually starts with this coffee roastery in Florida, and a couple years later, a what was it? A coffee shop in Colorado starts making pumpkin spice latte. It's not until I think a few years after that. Actually, no, it's introduced to in I believe 2003 or 2004. We're on year
hmm.
13, so it's the fall of 2003. And, you
The
know,
13th year of PS.
it's the 13th year of PSL. Starbucks introduces the pumpkin spice latte, and that is when, it's funny, somewhere along the line, pumpkin pie spice turns into pumpkin spice. It's like when Facebook dropped like, oh, let's drop the to
It's
make
not
it
just
Facebook.
pies anymore.
Right, it's not just for pies anymore, it becomes pumpkin spice life. Like, pumpkin spice at 11%. And they're like, this is a great idea. And everyone else goes, yeah, this is a great idea. So 13 years later, the pumpkin spice market has just exploded. And what kind of things have you seen that are pumpkin spice?
I mean, today I had a pumpkin spice latte, but that's kind of given.
Yeah,
But then I also had soft pretzels, and it came with a pumpkin spice dipping cream for it.
Really? Like a pumpkin spice, like in the cream cheese? How'd it taste?
Amazing. Pretty amazing until you start feeling sick after eating a couple pretzels and a fistful of dip.
I mean, that's a lot of
dip.
That's actually like a lot of sugar.
It's a lot of sugar.
It's a lot of sugar. The PSL, the original pumpkin spice latte from Starbucks, actually had 50 grams of sugar in it. And it wasn't until 2015 when they actually started putting a little bit of pumpkin puree. Again, FDA regulation. We don't know what actual puree gourd was pureed to go into the pumpkin spice latte, but they pureed some type of gourd species.
So they're getting closer.
Yeah, they're getting closer to actually making it an authentic like pumpkin experience. But yeah, so the market, it has exploded with pumpkin spice flavored things. So we have an array of just only a fraction of the cookies and products we've seen. I mean, I've seen pumpkin spice hummus. I've seen, now beers like to brew pumpkin flavored beers, which I love pumpkin flavored beers. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah. They're good.
Ooh.
They're good.
Ooh.
I'm selective, but they're good.
Yeah. Some can be good. Some can be a little bit overbearing, I think. But yeah, what do we have today, John?
We have
These
are all regulars from the show that we've tasted before, but they're the renditions for fall. I also like to look at pumpkin spice as kind of like the bridge gap between holidays, because there's really no holiday between 4th of July and Halloween. So it's like, oh, this is like the fall holiday foods. We got pumpkin spice Oreos.
Yes.
Pumpkin cheesecake Pepperidge Farm cookies.
I like how they introduced cheesecake. I'm excited to try cheesecake cookies.
That's true. They pumpkin spice cheesecake, which we still haven't tried yet. It's everywhere. Pumpkin spice is everywhere.
Even Starbucks has the pumpkin spice cheesecake squares, which reviews online said are mediocre, so I'm afraid to spend money on it. I think that's a legitimate reason.
I still feel like we should try it for our own sake.
For science. Yes.
For science.
For science.
And we have the pumpkin spice fudge stripes, which probably doesn't have any fudge at all, but they're called fudge stripes. And we have the pumpkin spice Milanos.
Now, they all say pumpkin spice. Okay, so pumpkin spice, spice.
Except for this guy.
This says pumpkin cheesecake. I'm interested. What do they say? Let's start with the Pepperidge Farm. Let's start with Pepperidge Farm. If you look back, we did an episode of Pepperidge Farm cookies. Yeah, we did the Nantucket cookies as well as a bunch of other samplers.
Which the Milano was one of them.
Ah, yes. So we have 2 Pepperidge Farm cookies tonight.
I think this might be the first year for the Milanos at least, because I've never seen those before.
I don't see anything about pumpkin in this.
It doesn't even say on the front contains pumpkin. Pumpkin spice flavored.
Naturally flavored. See more lies. I don't even see the like the pumpkin spices. The nutmeg. Oh, here it is.
So these contain magic.
This has, all this has is cinnamon, ginger, allspice, and nutmeg.
That's close enough.
That's close. Yeah, okay, so those are the pumpkin spices. Therefore, they should call this the pumpkin spice cheesecake Pepperidge Farm cookie. Yes.
Not the pumpkin cheesecake.
All right, are we ready to crumble into the weekend?
I hope so.
All right.
I hope so.
I should take off my gloves.
Yeah, they're going to get a little crummy.
It was more of just a prop to describe fall and my love of fall. It is my favorite season.
Okay.
Oh, it's so soft and ooey gooey.
I keep thinking they're nuts, but they're not nuts.
Yeah, what are they supposed to be? Just chunks of cheese? Cream cheese?
I guess. They look like white chocolate chips.
All right, are you dunking?
I'm gonna bite first.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm dunking first. Yes.
Tastes like pumpkin spice cheesecake.
That most certainly. All of the spices that
It's like a molasses kind of taste to it.
Yeah.
Like a what do you call it? Ginger snap.
I definitely can taste the ginger and the allspice for real. Those are exceeding the other flavors that are incorporated.
They definitely are.
Yeah. I think the little chunks of cheesecake that are in the pumpkin cheesecake cookies from Pepperidge Farm, that kind of tones it down, tones the spices down a little bit.
That's what these taste like. Those little Debbie's pies that were like oatmeal pies with cinnamon. Do you remember those with the cream in between the middle? That's what these taste like. These taste like cheap little Debbie pies.
Cheap little Debbie pies.
Which is not a bad thing. But they don't really taste like pumpkin. Definitely the pumpkin spice.
We've already disclosed that pumpkin technically doesn't taste like anything. Like what we think is actually pumpkin. Aromatic spices, a collection of spices that are very, sometimes can be overbearing. But in the case of pumpkin, because pumpkin technically has no flavor and is a bland gourd, you have to dump in a bunch of spices to make it taste like something.
Well, I guess it doesn't taste like what I'm used to things not tasting like pumpkin. Definitely tastes more gingery.
But I mean, we've definitely been trained to be like, yes, this is the feeling of fall. This is definitely the flavor of fall. Gosh, I think we should go from one Pepperidge Farm to another Pepperidge Farm, right?
Yeah.
I mean, let's dive into the Milano.
So I guess the segue would be Pepperidge Farm, sandwich cookie.
2 sandwich cookies. We've sandwiched the sandwich cookies between 2 normal cookies. So, Farm episode already, we talked about the Milano cookie. Of like another Italian city, but basically what it was, one of these, here, let me zoom in. It used to just be one of these cookies with chocolate on the side, but when they were shipping the cookie, they often would fall together and get melted together and create kind of like a sandwich cookie. So that's when Pepperidge Farm was like, let's package them like this. And we will sell it as a Milano cookie.
Oh, we're not sharing this time?
No, I want my own Milano cookie. Anyway, so as you can see, they created an orange layer next to related orange to make us feel like we're eating pumpkin.
But orange, not orange. Now they say orange. I keep wanting it to be orange and chocolate, but it's pumpkin and chocolate.
It's pumpkin and chocolate. Although orange and chocolate would be
It's very good.
Yeah, but okay, I can definitely smell the nutmeg. For real.
Not very good.
When you want to have a pumpkin spice experience. Like when I have a pumpkin spice experience, I want to feel warm all over on the inside. Like I want to cozy up. Like when I drink, I had actually a pumpkin spice coffee at Wawa today. And
how was that?
It was amazing. It was, everything. It was just warm and cozy. Like all the aromatic spices. You just it's the type of flavor you can have on a crisp day and still feel warm.
Starbucks always offers, pumpkin spice latte. Would you like that hot or cold? Who gets it cold? Who gets a pumpkin spice latte cold?
Wait, do people get an iced latte that's pumpkin spice?
I guess.
That's weird.
They keep introducing it earlier and earlier.
Yeah, that's true. They introduced it as early as August 25th this year, I heard.
Yeah.
And people were in an uproar. They were just like, no, I don't want summer to end. Because when pumpkin spice is on the shelves, that means summer is over.
And also, I got to keep buying it, so now I have to keep buying it longer.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm excited for this. I'm definitely making this after the show. It's it's spiced pecan, pumpkin. It's a quickie bread.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I'm making that tonight.
Ooh.
Hooray! Sweets after sweet. It's the after dessert dessert. I'm saving this for later. Yo, next cookie.
The pumpkin spice Oreo.
Yes. I don't know. I love Oreo. I feel like they do a good job with their...
They don't usually mess up.
Yeah.
They're kind of like the Pop-Tarts of cookies.
They really are. Oh, there's even, like, pumpkin spice Pop-Tarts, too.
Uh-oh.
What do you got?
It's not one of those easy pull ones.
Oh, no. Oh, no, you got it all greasy. I got it. Oreo. If you're out there listening...
Just make them all with the easy pull tab.
Yeah, make them all with the easy pull tab. What is the purpose of that? Making us struggle. Now they're all gonna go stale. Ooh.
That's why we have Tupperware. Put your cookies in Tupperware and they last longer.
After doing this show every week, we have an absurd amount of cookies that are just left over that I send him to work with often. So we've learned that we need to preserve our cookies after the show in Tupperware containers. That's actually what most of our Tupperware containers are occupied by
that
cookies.
And pork.
That and pulled pork. Like 4 pounds. With their very creatively flavored sandwich cookies. I mean...
Is this one... That's another thing I'm never too sure of. Is it a vanilla cookie or is it like a spiced cookie? Because sometimes Oreo pulls one of those where it's not just either vanilla or chocolate cookies.
Good.
They sometimes alter
They
not
don't
just the inside.
They don't specify. I think they're just more about like, look at the orange cream on the inside. He had a package. We'll have them.
If you don't open them, they last forever.
Maybe, maybe not, because they're quite stale. They taste way different. It's a way different experience. I don't know if they changed something this year.
I think I like the H one better.
Really?
I think they taste more like pumpkin spice than these.
No, I like the cookie flavor of this one a little bit more. I think last year they might have used like a vanilla cookie. This year they taste like they've got a little bit of like ginger or something or cinnamon in the cookie. Now, it's not like past Halloween cookies or fall cookies that Oreo has brought up in prior years. Before they were doing all the crazy flavors, remember every Halloween they would come out with like orange
cream, yeah.
Orange cream.
Tastes exactly the same.
Tasted exactly the same, but it was just like with an orange, like orange cream center, and it was bright. It was like a fluorescent orange.
They still make them.
They still make them.
That's probably my favorite flavored Oreo still, is the orange colored normal Oreo.
But it's not flavored. It's just orange.
The mind flavors it.
So far, that's the winner of the evening.
This one's been around at least for a few years now.
Oh, yeah.
This one's new, as the package says. This one might be newish.
Oh.
I think this one's new as well. So every company's just hopping on the bandwagon.
Everyone hops onto it for a real marketing purpose, and that's called the limited time offer. Is that they...
Limited batch. Limited edition.
Yeah, limited edition, limited time offer. They make it limited. So not just to like get people to go out and, you know, buy a lot of it because they know they're not going to get it all year round. The point is to get people to come and get it because it's a little bit of a novelty, because it's like, it's kind of like the collector's mentality. You know, you want the collector's edition cookie.
Yep, the Oreos you can save. The rest of these I'm not too sure yet.
What?
You can collect these for at least a year and they still taste like cookies.
That's true, that's true. We have last year's vintage, which we cookies in front of it. Crackle, crackle. No, it's okay. All right. Wow. Look at the EL fudge. Oh, it's melty. Oh, they're stuck.
One for me and none for you.
None for me. Ooh. Now, I like the display. I like the display of this cookie. Let's zoom in on it.
I feel like I just do the sniff test for every cookie.
Just sniffing.
What does it smell like?
Well, it definitely smells like pumpkin spices.
This kind of smells Christmassy with the ginger smell.
Yeah, this does smell. It's like interesting.
This could look for like a Christmas cookie from a distance.
It could also, I think if you laid this out on a plate with no context, it could also pass as a Christmas cookie. Like if you took it out of its orange and clearly
so in a
fall
couple
package.
Months, we're gonna see this cookie again.
Yeah.
Just with different flavor.
Yeah. Probably packaged differently. But no, it's interesting to see that each company interpreted pumpkin spice in a different way. Like some were more ginger than others, some were more cinnamon. This one, I can smell the ginger, but I can also smell the allspice.
Yeah.
Which is giving it that kind of Christmas. Are you excited? Are you ready? Wow, this could definitely be a Christmas cookie.
Yeah, it could.
This is more Christmas than it is.
This reminds me of those animal crackers that are covered in frosting.
That is exactly what that tastes like. Or I was even thinking, have you ever... Yeah.
I think it's actually a local company that makes them.
Really?
That's another show. It's another episode we're going to have in a few months.
Oh, Christmas cookie episode?
Christmas cookie episode.
Here, here.
I'm counting down the days.
I mean, but Christmas cookies, there's like a lot of types of... There's the little cutouts that you can get from Pillsbury with the little like Christmas tree or the Santa faces in them. You know the ones.
No, I know the ones. I know all the ones.
Wow. Save that one for later because that is a little sweet.
Too much frosting.
Yeah. A little bit too much frosting.
If it was just the top, it'd be fine, but the whole bottom layer, I forgot the fudge stripes came that way.
Yeah, why the choice of coating the bottom as well as doing the stripes on the top? Because the stripes on the top could be a sufficient amount of icing.
It definitely could.
Yeah.
You also wouldn't have the problem with them all sticking together like the Milanos don't.
Yeah, that's true. Oh my gosh, wait, did you see what the Milano says? It says, let me zoom in on this. Fall in love with flavor. I forgot what the last one. Fall in love with flavor. Yeah, so I didn't fall in love with you. I'm so sorry, Milano. Top 2 cookies though. Number 1, Oreo pumpkin spice. Number 2, the Nantucket pumpkin cheesecake.
And these two might be tied for last. The Milanos and
although you would definitely get way more value for the Keebler fudge stripes because they do taste like a Christmas cookie. So you can have them in the fall.
And then when you get sick of them after a week, just save them for a few months.
Exactly. You could just like have a cookie swap for Christmas and boom. Christmas cookies.
We're not
have to know what we're doing with these cookies.
We just have to pretend like we're not going to pawn them on our friends in 3 months from now.
Well, that's our show for this evening. I hope you've learned as much about pumpkin spice as we had researching the topic. And we'll see you next week with another episode of, well, actually, we're going to do Snack Attack on Thursday. I will post some more information on that. But yeah, and then next Friday for another episode of Friday Night Cookies. And as I figure out how to...
We're never gonna leave.
No.
Just gonna watch us all night long.
You know, Mevo? Note to Mevo. I love this camera, but y'all gotta make the function to turn the live stream off way easier than this. Like, it's so challenging.